Hey everyone, it's Wolfgang. We are in a buyer's market for real estate. This is the right time to buy a mansion. I'm not being facetious about that. My wife and I did that in times like this. I will go into this. I will explain what I'm talking about. I will explain the huge problem with real estate agents not selling any homes last year. So Redfin, the online website for real estate, had a keynote address at a conference called Inman Connect, INMAN Connect. And they stated that 71% of real estate agents in the United States sold 0 homes in all of 2024. So that's not good if you're a realtor. These are very slow selling times for homes in the United States. Apparently the worst selling year in 20 years, last year, 2024. Housing inventory is at a 5-year high in this year, in 2025. This is March 2025. Housing inventory is higher than in 2024, 2023, 2022, and 2021. And so we're in a buyer's market. My wife and I, we always took advantage of times like these when the housing inventory is immense to buy a luxury home. We always did. We would go out and find the worst luxury home in the best neighborhood, you know, something that needed some fix-up, usually. And at times like this, when housing inventory was very high, we would buy a luxury home, move into it, fix it up, and move out and rent it. So this is the time to buy. This is a great time to buy. And you might think interest rates are a stumbling block, but they're not. And I'll explain that as we go through here. So we generally bought these properties, these high-end properties, during or right after a slowdown. Right now, we're in the slowdown. And this will probably last for a little while, but people are going to wise up to this. They're going to realize this is the buying opportunity. The supply, the inventory is really high, and no one else is kind of in the mood to buy. That's the time when you want to buy a mansion, a luxury home. So rates are 3%, interest rates, mortgage interest rates. I'm talking about 30-year mortgage rates. Right now, they're 3% less than what we paid when we were buying property. If you want to see our very first property purchase, it's the first video on this channel. We paid 9.75% for that loan, for that first property. Okay, so interest rates are not high. You might think they are, but that's only because interest rates were set artificially low for a long time to recover from the 2008 and 2009 crash. Rates usually have never gone that low. That was an artificial time period. So if you think you got used to that as being the norm, that's not the norm. That was the Federal Reserve trying to get the economy to recover from that huge mini depression we had in 2008 to 2009. So interest rates are about 6.75%. They're not that bad. So in January of 2025, 2 months ago, homes for sale, homes listed on the market, put up for sale, increased 25% over a year prior. In January of 2024, there were 25% fewer homes for sale. So that's a huge number, 25% jump in 1 year of inventory. That's a massive number. There are 829,376 homes for sale in the U.S. right now. Divided by 50 states, there's a lot of stuff out there available. That number, I think that number's right, but if you want to check that online, pretty sure that number's right. But so the median home price is up only 2% in the past year. So the median home price right now is $420,000, and it's only gone up 2%. That's nothing. If you remember in the 2020 to 2023 timeframe, home prices were skyrocketing. Nothing like this. 2% is nothing. You know. So we're in a buyer's market right now. 2024 sales dropped 24% compared to the year prior, 2023. Sales in 2024 last year were below that crash year of 2008. That is a massive statement right there. Sales last year fell below what sold in 2008. Sales in 2023 and 2024 reached 20-year lows. So there's more inventory. There are fewer buyers, fewer sales, 20-year lows in sales. So last year at this time, 1 year ago, we were in a seller's market. It was still a seller's market, but now it has totally changed. There is so much home inventory out there. It's the perfect time to buy. You can really make out if you find the right property because interest rates are not that. You know, we paid 9.75% for our first property. Right now, the 30-year mortgage is 6.75%. It's 3 percentage points less than what we paid for our first property. The majority of homes are selling below the asking price. Over half of the homes selling right now are the buyer is negotiating the price down with the seller. The majority of homes are selling below the asking price. So if you work remotely, this is the time to buy a mansion. I'm not kidding about this. We made millions of dollars buying homes, the highest end homes in the best neighborhoods that needed some work at times like these. Millions of dollars in luxury homes. You know, not right away, but over the years, the homes that we bought ended up being worth millions. This is the time to buy a mansion. And I'm going to give you a list of the cities here in just a minute, but where the best deals are right now. Let me make sure I've covered everything. Okay, so the top 5 cities with the most affordable luxury homes right now. Lakeland, Florida. That's Lakeland, Florida. 36% of luxury homes have dropped their asking price. A third of the homes, they're dropping the asking price because nobody is showing up to buy. Sherman, Texas. 25% of luxury homes have dropped their asking price. Phoenix, Arizona, 22% of luxury homes are voluntarily dropping their list price, the asking price for the property. Missoula, Montana, 20% of luxury homes are dropping their asking price. So the market is saying we're in a buyer's market. You can buy a high-end home at the lowest price in many years. This is the time. Now, by the way, I probably should have said at the beginning, I do not have a real estate license. I never have. Even though I've been in real estate for quite a long time, I've never had a real estate license. I'm not a realtor. I'm not going to refer you to a realtor. I'm talking about our experience buying luxury homes at times like this and making bank, just making out, you know. I wanted to sort of spread the advice around so you guys could take advantage of it. If you're working remotely, you can move to other parts of the country. You can find these deals. It doesn't have to be a permanent stay. You can buy the place, live in it, and then rent it out after you've lived there for a while. So the top 5 cities with the cheapest, I already did that. The top 5 states with the largest number of new homes built. Okay, so I'm going to go through the top 5 states that have the most home supply. That means sellers are going to be interested in selling because there's a lot of competition. There's a lot of home supply. Texas is the #1 state where there's new home construction. Second is Florida, then California, then North Carolina, then Georgia. So those are the top 5 states that have the most new home construction activity. Texas #1, second is Florida, third is California, fourth is North Carolina, fifth is Georgia. So what about interest rates? We're at 6.75%. We're at 6.75% on the 30-year mortgage right now. 6.75. If we could have gotten that back when we were buying our first places, we would have killed for that. It's just fantastic. I know that's probably not, you haven't heard that very much, but we were 9.75. That's what we paid. So there are supposed to be 2 Fed interest rate cuts this year. They're predicting 2 more Fed interest rate cuts, but I don't think that's going to affect mortgage rates because if you recall, last year when the Fed started lowering interest rates, mortgage rates did not budge very much. They went up a little bit, so it didn't really help with the 30-year mortgage rate. So if you're waiting for Fed interest rate cuts, it's kind of a fool's errand because there's so much supply right now and nobody's buying. When these cities like Lakeland, Florida, when over a third of luxury home sellers are just voluntarily slashing their price, that means there are no buyers. So this is the right time to buy. Let's see. So if you're a remote worker, I guess I can't stress this enough. If you have mobility, this is a good time to move. Now, if 2 or 3 years ago, when everybody was buying a home and home prices were skyrocketing, that was not a good time to buy a home. But prices are being cut all across the country. And these particular states are the best options: Texas, Florida, California, North Carolina, and Georgia. So if you're in the market for a home, real estate agents, 70% of them have sold 0 homes in the last year. Over 2/3 of realtors sold nothing last year. Very bad for them, but it's very good if you're a buyer. That means there's no competition. So now is the time to do what we did, because we knew this back then when we started buying. We actually started looking at homes And we thought, well, the economy's starting to get soft here. Let's wait and see if the economy tanks a little more, and it did. And 2 years later, we bought our first property because the economy was starting to tank. And so I don't think you can depend on that now, though, because here's why. Once the oil prices start to drop, because this the new people in the government are, they have this slogan, drill, baby, drill. The last time they did that, gas prices in our area were $1.67 a gallon. Right now, they're over $3. It's like $3.30 a gallon. So once the price of gas drops significantly, everything you buy that is transported by vehicle, like by a train or by a truck, all the prices for the goods that we buy will start to drop because the fuel costs, they do two things. If the fuel costs go up, they increase the price of everything we buy. If the fuel costs go down, truckers start slashing their prices to compete with their fellow truckers. When gas drops by 50%, the first trucker to drop their price for shipping takes a lot of the market. And that's the mechanism that makes the price of our goods start to decline when the gas prices fall, because gas is bought by every vehicle. And so if gas prices fall, my point is I would not wait for an economic crash to buy. I don't think that's going to happen because I think the economy is probably where it is now, and it's not going to get much worse. That's my estimate. That's my prediction. So if you have any questions about the home market or about our past with the properties we bought in times like these, because truth be told, there's only been like one time out of all the time we bought several properties at the same time. There's only been one time that we bought when there was not an economic stress like this, where there was a lot of supply. There was one time where we did a relocation and the economy was humming along and there was no opportunity to get a good deal. In fact, we bought several properties and we felt lucky because the seller dropped the price by $2,000, and these were hundreds of thousands of dollars properties that we bought. So and we felt we got lucky with the $2,000 price cuts because the market was good. Right now, the market sucks for homes. 70% of realtors are not selling homes. Worst selling year in 20 years. Housing inventory is a 5-year high. The majority of homes are selling below list price. The 30-year mortgage is at 6 3/4. This is the time to buy a luxury home or to buy your first home if you're buying your first home. So if you have any questions, please post those in the comments. Also, we're putting up the text that's on the board in a window next to the live video. If you have any comments about that, it's a new thing for us. This will be the second video that we're trying that out. We'd appreciate if you could give us comments if that's working better for people, especially if you have a smartphone or a small screen type of device. If having the little window with the text that's on the board makes the video more useful. I very much appreciate everybody watching. If you have any questions, please post in the comments, and have a great day.